This should never happen to another president again. This hoax. This should never happen to another president again.
Nice thought, but is it even possible? Both sides are addicted to investigations, and it has been going on for decades now.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The facts have integrity.
They seek to do nothing more than to attack, attack, attack.
When the House voted to impeach President Clinton, Republicans and Democrats went running to their respective corners, and many might argue they never returned. That partisan divide only widened under Presidents Bush and Obama and now Trump, each with their own investigations and scandals and controversies that went back and forth, fueled by the other side.
We were misled that there was supposedly protests and then something sprang out of that, an assault sprang out of that.
The fact is we had 4 dead Americans. What difference at this point does it make?
How long will it take you to produce Lois Lerner's emails? Could we have that by Friday?
Absolutely not.
Was there ever a time when you drank so much that you couldn't remember what happened or part of what happened the night before?
I don't know. Have you?
This is the most unethical sham since I've been in politics.
Wow. That's stress-inducing, right? Here now, Trey Gowdy, former Republican chairman of the House Oversight Committee, who you saw in that montage, and now a Fox News contributor. Trey, always good to see you. Thank you for being here tonight. Each side obviously would say that they had very good reason for the investigations on either side, but nonetheless, the tenor of these, sort of tit-for-tat investigations has been something that we've been living with for quite some time.
Yeah, and the next 2 years will be worse. I mean, if the president thought he had a cloud over the last 2 years, at least Mueller did his work confidentially. Congress will not. At least Mueller, I think, had an open mind going into the investigation. Congress does not. Mueller, I was shocked at the paucity of leaks from the Mueller investigation. Congress leaks all the time. So the next 2 years, unfortunately, for my fellow citizens, and I say that seriously, I am sorry for my fellow citizens, most of whom Russia is not number 1 or number 2 on their list of concerns, or the Russia investigation. They're going to be living with this, except in a worse way, for the next 2 years.
All right. Well, you went after Peter Strzok, and that may be where this investigation is headed next. If if you take the president's campaign manager at his word and some folks who are around the president. Here's an exchange that you had with the FBI agent who was one of the early on-board folks in investigating the Trump campaign. Watch this.
You mentioned the use of the word impeachment. That was used in the context of my not knowing what this would lead to. I was not prejudging impeachment. When I used that term, it was saying it might be nothing.
Please.
It might lead all the way to something on the other.
Thank you, Agent Strzok.
Agent Strzok, are you kidding?
If you want to represent what you said accurately, I'm happy to answer that question, but I don't appreciate what was originally said being changed.
I don't give a damn what you appreciate, Agent Strzok. I don't appreciate having an FBI agent with an unprecedented level of animus working on 2 major investigations during 2016.
You are obviously very fired up about what you saw in those text messages. Do you believe that that investigation should be the next one that's taken up?
Well, I think it's going to be, I think Lindsey Graham has made it clear. Michael Horowitz is investigating it now. He's no partisan. Bill Barr has expressed an interest in investigating. I would think everybody would want to know, was there sufficient factual predicate for the launching, the initiating of this investigation? It'd be great, Martha, if we could agree we don't need biased FBI agents running counterintelligence investigations. That's something that most Americans do agree on, but Congress cannot. I mean, it'd be great if we had some unanimity. Let's make sure Russia and no one else ever does what they did to us in 2016. But you don't hear anything about that. What could be a unifying finding by Mueller, that Russia targeted us and tried to sow the seeds of discord, that would be unifying. What you'll see is Republicans going to investigate the origins, and you're going to have Schiff. By the way, he's not done with collusion. His political future depends upon there being collusion. He's going to go look into that, and of course Nadler and the rest of them are going to go look at obstruction of justice. So it's going to last for 2 years. It will not be bipartisan. The Senate Intel Committee, I think, did a reasonably good job on the bipartisanship until they got to collusion, but you'd be hard-pressed to find another committee in Congress that did.
You know, you always stuck up for the Mueller investigation. And I'm curious now that you've seen the report and you've seen that he definitely cracked the door open to continue to look into obstruction by not making a definitive conclusion on whether or not he thought there was obstruction of justice. What do you think of the report now that you've seen it, Trey?
I still don't think it should have been made public. And I'm in a really small universe of people that believes that. But I think the Department of Justice speaks in indictments and not in reports. If you have sufficient evidence to charge someone with obstruction, then at least do them the courtesy of allowing 12 of their fellow citizens at some point to hear all the evidence and reach a unanimous verdict. But this is like a hung jury, Martha. I mean, yeah. he issues the report. If you like Trump, you dismiss the obstruction. If you don't like Trump, you're going to seize on that. But there's no resolution. There's no verdict, which is why I was flabbergasted that my Republican colleagues thought this report should be made public. What has it resolved? No one's mind has been changed, and it is not the way our justice system, which is the envy of the world, it's not the way it works.
I understand what you're saying. So it seems to me that you would be critical of the fact that Robert Mueller, sort of changed the bar, so to speak, in terms of, he couldn't prosecute on obstruction of justice, but he said, but I also can't exonerate him. That many people say that's not how it works.
Well, the only caveat I would add is Mueller did not make the decision to make this report public. That was Barr. Mueller is entitled to send whatever he wants to the Attorney General. The Comey press conference is what set this unbelievable precedent about discussing people that you don't charge. I think it's appropriate for Mueller to say, look, we didn't charge him, and we're going to tell you, Mr. AG, why we didn't. Okay. But Barr made it public.
All right. Trey Gowdy, always great to have you. Thank you very much.
Well, they don't want to know. Joining us now, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders. Sarah, just your general reaction to all of this first, and you're being attacked today also.
Look, I think that the White House is in a great position, and what we've been saying for the last 2.5 years is finally, I think, totally been vindicated. The president is completely exonerated, no collusion, no obstruction. I find it absolutely outrageous that people like Jake Tapper, you showed a clip a few minutes ago of him saying, I can't believe Barr has said no collusion so many times, when they have been saying that there was collusion every single day, all day, for the last 2.5 years. It is outrageous the way that the media and Democrats have behaved. And frankly, the meltdown that we saw unfold on TV today is truly astonishing. But it's a great day in America, not just because it's a great day for the president, but it's a good thing when they can say that not just the president, not just his campaign, but no American was involved in colluding with a foreign government. And it's a sad day in America when Democrats and members of the liberal media are sad that it didn't happen. To me, that's the most mind-blowing thing of this, that they would actually want someone from their own country to have worked with a foreign government to take down the president and interfere with the election. The sad truth is the one that we've known all along. President Trump is president because he had a better message, a better vision, and he simply outworked his opponent. He beat Hillary Clinton fair and square.
They were spying on his campaign. The Attorney General mentioned it. They freaked out, but it's true. They also used the dirty dossier to get in the back door through Carter Page. But then you had Stefan Halper working on behalf of the deep state and going after Papadopoulos and Carter Page and Sam Clovis. Let me ask you, so the media is attacking you today because I guess in the testimony you gave, you had said your FBI, a lot of the FBI people you know, or, well, I can tell you, let me put it this way. Every FBI rank and file guy, the 99.9% I know, have all thanked me because they're hurt, this is the premier law enforcement agency in the world. Just like our intelligence community, same thing. The premier intelligence community in the world. They were hurt by a few at the top, and they're angry about it. And you said that, but explain.
Absolutely. Look, I acknowledged that I had a slip of the tongue when I used the word countless, but it's not untrue. And certainly you just echoed exactly the sentiment, and the point that I was making is that a number of both current and former FBI agents agreed with the president. James Comey was a disgraced leaker who tried to politicize and undermine the very agency he was supposed to run. firing James Comey remains one of the best decisions that the president made. The only problem is he could have done it sooner, and maybe it would have been a better thing, but it was absolutely the right decision. And every day since that, he's proven that he was right all along.
I got it right. He could be fired for any reason and no reason at all, in his own words. All right, Sarah, thank you.